Hello there, welcome to Saber Duel Gaming, where we always take the high ground. Now if there's one thing that everyone in the world should agree on, it is that dinosaurs are awesome. Huge, majestic, magical looking creatures, but grounded in reality. These things really walked our earth. But these things have also had a fantastic role in video games, and today we're going to look at the top 10 dinosaur games you need to play. Number 10. Jurassic Park on the Nintendo Game Boy. Released in 1993 on the Game Boy as well as the Nintendo Entertainment System, the designers of this game, Ocean, had access to early sneak peeks of art and even script designs for the Jurassic Park film. However, because it was designed way before the film's release and so much changes, the game itself almost has its own narrative. It doesn't follow directly the script and story of the film, allowing you to almost play through your own version of Jurassic Park. While graphically it looked a lot like some of the earlier Zelda games, it still played out in a level by level basis, and each level had enough variety that it was very difficult to get bored. There was free roaming open world sections where you had to collect eggs or various keycards. There was puzzle sections and other episodes where you had to avoid stampeding Triceratops or attacking T-Rex. The controls could be a little bit jarring at times, but overall, visually, this was very impressive for the Nintendo Game Boy. Number 9. Joe and Mack on the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. Games do not need to be complicated to be fun, and some of these early 16-bit platform games nailed that down. Whilst either this or its own sequel could easily have made this list, I decided to stick with the simple one and go with the original. Setting out across the world as one of two dim-witted but rather lovable cavemen, you venture across prehistoric landscapes, meeting a whole host of animals, including pterosaurs, prehistoric fish, and of course, dinosaurs. And not only are these animals ones that are chasing you or attacking you, they're also part of the platform landscape itself. A simplistic but entertaining platform game, beautifully colourful visuals, and a wide array of enemies to compete against, including dinosaurs. What more could you possibly want in a game? Number 8. Yoshis Story for the Nintendo 64. Okay, let's be honest, I could have just gone with any Yoshi game at all. There was no way that one of gaming's most famous dinosaurs, if not the most famous, could possibly be missing off this list, but I decided to go with this Nintendo 64 1998 classic. The visuals are beautiful and so unique. The gameplay, whilst following a relatively simple platform game similar to some of the other early Mario games, is still different enough that it feels like its own unique game. If I'm honest, I probably got drawn to this particular game because it's one I've actually only just started playing, and it just feels like so much fun. The bright, beautiful visuals, the interesting landscapes and unique design layouts, plus it's Yoshi. How can you not enjoy it? He's a fantastic character, and whilst he had some of his own games, this was really one where it felt like he was coming into his own, and it wasn't just a Mario clone. Number 7. The Google Dinosaur Game. Now come on, I know this probably seems a little bit of a silly entry to have on a top 10 games list, but it's about a dinosaur, and I don't know a single internet-accessed person on the planet that hasn't played this game. Certainly in dinosaur games, it's probably the most played one there is. It's simplistic, it's silly, it's basic, but it's also fantastically fun, bordering on addictive. If ever games designers needed evidence that graphics are not the most important thing when you have good, entertaining gameplay, here it is, right here. Number 6. Animal Crossing New Horizons. Now I could have gone with any of the Animal Crossing games again because it pretty much goes with the same theme, but as this is the most recent one, we'll go with this. Yes, there isn't actually any active dinosaurs in this game, but it has a whole host of dinosaur related content, from cutouts, toy dinosaurs, and dinosaur pop-up books. But far more important than that is the museum. You spend a great deal of your time digging up fossils, having these analysed, and slowly building together full replicas of the dinosaurs that once walked across your island. And they're fantastic recreations, beautiful to look at. You also get to learn little bits of information about them and go back to study them anytime you wish. Number 5. Dino Crisis. Perhaps one of the most overlooked and poorly remembered franchises in all of gaming history. If you're a big fan of the Resident Evil games, and especially the early ones, Dino Crisis as a series is certainly for you. Replacing the zombies with dinosaurs, it still plays out in a very similar way, and with similarly impressive graphics for the time. Whilst the graphics have dated somewhat, the graphics for the dinosaurs, especially in the cutscenes, have not. These are still really impressive. I could have gone with any game in this franchise, but for me personally, I think going back to the original is the best way to introduce people to it. A fantastic look at gaming's history. Number 4. Turok: Dinosaur Hunter on the Nintendo 64. Another game that's probably been forgotten through time. The Nintendo 64 release of this game came with such excitement and anticipation, with most of the other flagship release games being quite cartoony and very Nintendo in their style. This was the most standout one of the bunch, with Mario 64 and Pilot Wings looking pretty and stylistically beautiful. This had a much more visceral and action-packed look, something unique that Nintendo 64 fans could genuinely get excited about. Whilst the game probably didn't stand the test of time, this was partly due to the success of other games such as GoldenEye 007. The game itself was still fantastically enjoyable, and the dinosaurs in it were visually stunning. Whilst it was kind of annoying that some of the big green monsters weren't really dinosaurs, there was enough true dinos thrown into this game to keep us satisfied. Number 3. Ark Survival Evolved. This 2015 survival action adventure game is not without its flaws. People have rightly complained that there's far too much grafting and crafting in between the brief moments of excitement and action. However, that said, if you are looking for dinosaurs in a game, this has to be one you take a look at. The environment is stunning, and the dinosaurs even more so. Whilst there are a whole host of non-prehistoric animals, such as dragons and even a phoenix, the dinosaurs have to be the real focus. You can tame them, survive from them, or simply exist in harmony with them. Whilst it's worth saying that the Nintendo Switch version of the game is particularly poor, the PC, Xbox and PlayStation versions are far better, whilst still flawed. However, look at the visuals. If you want to see dinosaurs in your game, it's at least worth checking out. Number 2. LEGO Jurassic World. We've seen games that are mostly there for the visuals and games that don't really need visuals at all, but the LEGO franchise always manages to hit you with both to equally impressive degree. The LEGO Jurassic World game combines the content from the first 3 Jurassic Parks and Jurassic World itself, and it comes with LEGO's as standard, fun, entertaining gameplay. Now, the LEGO games aren't for everybody, and realistically, if you didn't like the other LEGO games such as Star Wars or the Marvel ones, you're not going to enjoy this either. But if you did, and you're a fan of the Jurassic Park and Jurassic World films, you are going to love it. Visually, this is one of the most impressive LEGO games they ever made, and the fact that they actually have the voice acting put over the top really adds some depth to it. The gameplay, as always, is simplistic, fun and entertaining, and the graphics, despite being blocky, are great. And number 1, Jurassic Park Operation Genesis. The third and final entry on this list featured from the Jurassic Park films. Jurassic Park Operation Genesis is something completely different. Taking after the theme park world games, this game is an absolute revolution. Released back on the Xbox, the original Xbox that is, this game would allow you to build your own real-life Jurassic Park, with the real-life potential for something like a storm or tornado to knock down fences and send those dinosaurs on a rampage that you then had to resolve, whilst also trying to fight to get back your loyal customers. But you don't just build the park, you actually have to research and help find DNA to make the dinosaurs as purebred as possible. And then you also have to be able to research and identify vaccines to stop your new dinosaurs getting sick. You need to make sure you identify the right type of food, make sure they're in the right type of habitat, everything you could possibly want to replicate the experience of building a Jurassic Park for yourself. And if the stress of all this gets too much for you, you can jump in a jeep or inside one of your observation huts and simply be a part of the experience, watching the dinosaurs and driving around enjoying Jurassic Park for yourself. The dinosaurs are beautifully drawn and designed in this game, and it couldn't be any better.